Hello everybody, Christopher is today, and we are going to be doing Mountune's upgraded PTU brace, the front of the vehicle here. This is obviously much beefier, much more solid than the stock one. We'll have a little bit comparison later on to get the stock one off. But the first thing you're going to want to do is set the vehicle up on ramps here, or on jack stands if that's what you prefer. And the whole reasoning for doing this is to actually take that rotating PTU mass as you maybe, install in modifications in your car or tune your car. That rotational mass gets a lot more torque to it. So when you have a lot more torque spinning the rotational mass, it tends to crack the PTU housings or even cause the leaking failures that some people have seen on the stock RSs. So this should help a ton with that by installing this over the stock piece. So with that, let's get at it. So as like all underbody installs, the first thing we're going to do is remove the underbody shield here with the Torx bits and the couple of push pins that we can use, either our screwdriver, pin clip remover, or any standard trim tool to remove. So we're going to get that out of the way and get up underneath the car. Alright, now as you guys can see, this black piece that I have my hand on right here is the stock PTU brace. It is held on by 113 and two 10mm bolts on the side. We're going to remove that first. Now when reinstalling the Mountune unit, I did find it a lot more helpful and useful to remove the lower intercooler piping, which is pretty simple to take off. Takes about maybe a couple of minutes. And it makes the job of securing the new PTU brace cut in half, probably from about a 45-minute job to about a 20-minute job. So just keep that in mind if you plan on doing this. You may want to take this off before you start, which would have cut it even more down. So one note to make is, I'm not sure if you guys can see this that close, but when removing the top bolt on the PTU secure, it's wise to come up from the back side of your turbo piping or your CAC piping up over top the half shaft to remove, as you have your oil line for your turbo right on the side of it. Now once you've broken the top bolt free on the stock PTU secure, you're then going to want to move over to a 10mm ratcheting wrench, as your socket and ratchet head will back up to the oil discharge from the turbo into the windage tray. Alright, so now that we've got the stock piece removed, we can go ahead and compare it with the Mountune piece. As you can see, the Mountune piece is much more robust on the side there. The bolting will be as follows. There is another hole that's unused that we'll be using, so that'll give us a little bit extra strength on there. And this is a stock piece, basically a 1/4-inch piece of steel bent. Now the funny thing that I thought was worth mentioning is that at the company, I don't know if you can see this, but there's actually red Loctite on the very, let me focus this out for you guys. It's actually red Loctite on the very top two threads of this bolt up here. And if you put it in the bracket, the Loctite actually never engages into the threading. So Ford, if you're watching this, you can go ahead and stop putting the Loctite there because it's not doing anything. Now before we install the Mountune unit, we do want to make sure that we set ourselves up here right for the install. First thing I'd like to mention is that the Mountune unit does use a grade 13.9 bolt, where the stock unit uses a grade 10.9 bolt. So first, we're getting a stronger bolt with the Mountune unit. Secondly, the Mountune unit will come with all of its accessories, which include a bolt and a washer for each hole. So we're going to go ahead and put the washers on each one of the bolts. They are sized to fit only the correct bolt. And then after that, we are going to want to use Loctite. We're going to be using the blue 242 Loctite, and we're basically just going to do that right in the center line of the bolt here.
Ford's red Loctite at the very top there didn't seem to do much. So we're going to, you do want to use the 242 right through the center of the threads here, because this is something you don't want the bolts backing off on, but you do want to be able to remove in the future.
Now when all said and done, this is about the engagement that you want of that 242 blue Loctite. And now that we've installed it properly, this is what you should be looking at when you look from the bottom end of your motor. Alright guys, now that we've installed the Mountune upgraded PTU brace, and you guys can see how much of a difference there was in the upgrade on that, I feel a lot more confident putting wheel power to that PTU now. And I will admit, I would start the install by taking the lower intercooler pipe off, not take it off before I did. That's going to cut your install time in half. So just take that lower intercooler pipe, and basically the only other slight issue I had was installing the top bolt by the turbo oil outlet, and just using a hand M6 Allen, you'll have no problem getting to that. And make sure you subscribe, because I do have a exhaust coming in the next couple of weeks. You guys probably already know where it's from, but it will make for a really good video. So make sure you hit notifications. You'll be identified immediately as soon as my video comes up on YouTube. If you guys like the video, give me a thumbs up. If not, you know what else to do. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.